Hey, and welcome to the Izzy Chinche Show. Although you may feel alone, that doesn't mean you truly are alone. Even though you have feelings of loneliness, it does not mean you are alone. You are not alone. I am so pumped that you tuned in. My goal with the show is to inspire and motivate you to the best of my abilities. I believe our world needs more leaders, and I believe that you, my listener, are a leader, and that you have the opportunity to impact your community and family by simply being you. I truly am here to try and serve and offer value to your life. And if you enjoy the show, it would mean the most to me if you could please either rate, subscribe, or share the show with anyone who you think might benefit from listening. Together, we can make this world a better place. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you love today's episode. Okay, welcome. Thanks for being here. First of all, if you are here, I hope it's not because you are having a bad day today, but if you are having a bad day today, that is totally fine. You are okay. I'm going to help you. I promise. And if you're not having a bad day today, good, I'm glad. This will help you when you have your next bad day. And by bad day, I don't mean necessarily that anything has gone wrong in your day. I feel like bad days are days when you just don't feel good and you're kind of questioning your entire life. You're like, why am I here? What am I doing? Why does nothing make me happy? Why do I just feel blah? I feel in a rut. I feel out of it. I don't feel like myself. And if you relate to that, it's because that is part of our human existence. So I'm going to start by saying this. Everyone has days where they feel like that. Oprah has days where she feels like that. Everyone has days where they're just not feeling great. And it's so much worse when you have a day that you're not feeling great. And it's not because anything specific went wrong or bad. And I think those are the hardest bad days because you can't really pinpoint, well, I got a flat tire, I got a ticket, I had all these things happen, family stuff. It's just none of that. You're just not feeling good. And you're feeling kind of depressed and you're feeling lonely and you're feeling like no one gets you and you can't relate and you can't connect to anyone. In my book, that's a bad day. That's a hard day because you feel alone. And my first tip, the very first thing, is to recognize that although you may feel alone, that doesn't mean you truly are alone. Even though you have feelings of loneliness, it does not mean you are alone. You are not alone. You have people who love you, people who are around you, people who are there for you, people who care for you. And if you can't think of any of those, I do. I care for you. That's why I'm doing this podcast, because I care for you. And you are not alone. And the other reason that you're not alone is because you're not the only person who feels this way. And that's why I said Oprah even feels this way. Everyone has days where they just don't feel it. And the thing is, these days are actually more common than not. And something that gives me such peace of mind is realizing, or not more common than not, more common than people would think they are. I really hope these days are not more common than you don't have them. That's not what I meant there. They're more common than people think. And that's why we often feel so alone, is because we think like we don't always have, like we're the only one who feels this way. People don't feel this way. On average, I believe it is every 10 days you're going to have a lull day. And I forget where I heard this study, and don't quote me on it, but this is something that I heard, and maybe I will get the actual link to it in the show notes. We'll see. But anyways, I heard this study that every 10 days, it's typical to have a lull day, to have a day where you're not feeling it. And I find so much peace in that. Be like, oh my gosh, okay. Everyone, about every 10 days, just doesn't feel it, okay? So when you have your next day, that's like, first is to realize you're not alone, but second is to realize, okay, this isn't abnormal. This isn't abnormal. So because it's not abnormal, what I don't want you to do is to start making up reasons as to why you feel crappy, because that's like the worst route to go. And I know because I've done it. I've been like, oh, I feel like crap. I don't feel myself. Why? I don't know why. So let me make up a bunch of reasons and start thinking about a bunch of things that I don't need to think about and be like, that's why this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. No, it's just part of my experience. It's part of our experience. And when you're having a bad day, you kind of just got to sit and be like, okay, tomorrow is going to be better. Now, if you have like multiple days in a row, then yes, you need to start looking at your life and be like, okay, wait, why am I like consistently not feeling it, not vibing, not loving my life, not waking up like, let's freaking go? Then you need to go way deeper and start really asking yourself questions like, when did this start? Why? Where? All the things. I'm not talking about that. That's when you really got to evaluate. I'm saying when you have a day, maybe two, that just tanks you. You're not feeling good, feel lost, all those things. That's when it's okay to just sit and be like, I'm in a funk. It's going to pass. I'm in a funk and it's going to pass. And I'm here to tell you that it's going to pass. If you're having a crappy day, you're not feeling it, it's going to pass. And you're going to be okay way quicker than you think. And typically, it's not all these crazy life adjustments that you need to make. You just need to get through that day, do the things that are good for you, and wake up and feel better. And that's the other piece of this. When you're having that day, a crappy day, why is there a freaking thing? If you're just listening and can't see, I'm like hitting a fly away or something. I'm not sure. But anyways, if you're having that crappy day, it is not time to do things that are unhealthy for you, right? It's not time. It's going to drive me insane. It's not time to scroll on your phone for hours, eat fast food, and not move. That is not what you should be doing if you're not feeling well. It's actually incentive to be doing all the things that are going to set you up for success if you are feeling unwell. You're not feeling yourself. You're feeling out of it. You're in a funk. Now, you can adjust the level. Like yesterday, I wasn't feeling super spunky and everything. So I was like, no, it's not a gym day for me. It's a Pilates day because I'm not going to go put myself through a strenuous lift right now because I'm just not feeling that. And some days I have to listen and be like, no, I need to literally kill myself in the gym and I'm going to snap out of it. And it's starting to test and know yourself and take note. Okay, I feel crappy. What kind of exercise is going to help me today? Sometimes it's going hardcore like an insane person in a gym. And then you're like, whew, I am back. I am feeling it. Like sometimes that's what I need. I need to be like, I need to be pushed to the point of collapsing and then I'm going to be good. And sometimes I snap right back. But sometimes I'm like, no, I'm feeling like I need to get my movement in and work out, but do in a way that isn't going to like spike my stress and make me be like, ugh, and then set myself up for failure. So yesterday was Pilates workout for me. I wasn't super feeling it, but it's not a reason to not get my exercise in, to not get my movement in, because then it's actually going to make it worse and the recovery from the day is going to take longer. So I had that day and I was like, also, I really prioritize protein. I was like, I need to make sure I get a lot of protein in today. Because when I'm having that lull, it takes a toll on your body because your body's doing all this work to try and get you out of feeling crappy. So it's exhausted. So in the days that you're feeling crappy, prioritize protein, water, and get your movement in. Don't skip those 3 just because you're not feeling well, because then it's going to take even longer to get back into it. I'm not saying like if you're sick, by the way. This is like if you're mentally in a funk. If you're sick, you probably need to just rest and then you'll be good. But it's just so important because I see people like, oh, I'm not feeling good. Let me scroll on my phone for hours. Let me eat something crappy with no protein in it and wonder why I'm feeling bad. No, don't do that. Do the things that you know you need to do. Do the things that you know are good for you. And I don't need to tell you what those things are. You know what those things are. You know the things that are good for you. It's water, it's sleeping, it's limiting screen time, it's movement, exercise, connection. Like those are the main things. It's like 6 things. If you do those when you're having a bad day, I promise, probably the next day you're going to be like, yeah, I was totally fine. I was just in a funk, because that's part of our human experience, right? And I talk about this because I talk about like the mental health piece and how we dub people all these things because they just don't, they have anxiety or they have whatever, and they're like, oh, you suffer from all this. It's like, no, dude, it's part of the human experience. And it's tough to be a human because we have these feelings and we're not taught that they're normal. We're taught to go and we isolate ourselves because we feel different and bad and whatever. You're not alone. Okay. So let me remind you what you need to do if you're currently having a bad day, or if you want some tools for the next bad day that you're going to have. And I get it. People are like, there's the whole thing, never have a bad day and everything like that, which is good. And I like that. But like sometimes I just feel like I'm having a bad day. Like it is not my day, a funky day or whatever. I'm in a funk day. Okay. So the first thing is to realize you're not alone. And just because you feel you are alone does not mean you are alone. Okay. So we cannot believe every thought that we have. That's like one of the first things that like top psychiatrists say. You do not need to believe every thought that you have. They're not true. That's just a thought. You feel alone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you feel that way. I don't want you to feel that way. You're not alone. Focus on the facts. Who do you have? Who can you talk to? Who can you just call and say, hey, I don't know, I just feel lonely. And just tell them. And they're like, hey, man, I'm sorry you feel lonely. Sometimes I feel lonely too. But I guess we got each other. So that's the first thing. Second thing is realize other people feel that way as well, right? Like I said, Oprah feels that way. Oprah has days where you just feel in the funk. And so remembering like every 10 days, it's normal to have a lull day. That is very normal. And as long as it's not multiple days in a row, you probably don't need to change that much. Okay. Sometimes you do still, you're like, okay, that hanging out with that person just depleted me, or, watching that just made me feel crappy about myself, like, or consuming this media, whatever. The third thing is to do the things that are good for you. Do the things that are healthy for you. And you know those things. You know what they are. You know the things that are going to set you up for success. Do not sabotage yourself by eating like crap, by consuming garbage for hours on your phone, by skipping your workout. Don't do that. Stop. If you are like, here's the sign. Here's the person that you needed to just tell you, I'll be your coach right now. Stop doing that. Stop. You're so much better than that. Set a better example for you, for your family, for your friends, for your kids, for your mom, your spouse, whatever it is. Set the better example and show yourself some love and do the things that are good for you. Now within that, I got a little sublet that doesn't mean don't listen to your body and just push yourself when you should be doing a lighter workout or whatever it is. I'm not saying that, but do the things that are good for you. Because ultimately is sitting on your phone and laying on the couch for 5 hours scrolling going to do anything, add any kind of value to you, to your life? No. For the most part, literally there is never a time where that is going to benefit you to any capacity at all. So you don't need to do that. So get off and go do your workout, whatever that workout. Sometimes it's just a walk. Sometimes if that is what you need to do for your workout, totally fine. Don't judge the kind of workout that you do. Just do it. Half-ass is better than nothing, okay? And start respecting yourself. Respect yourself, and then know that tomorrow you're probably going to wake up, you're going to drink some water, you're going to get outside, you're not going to go straight to coffee, because you know that's not good for you. You need water first, then coffee. You need to get some sunlight, and you'll be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to have a good day today. And yesterday, that was just a funk. And it doesn't really matter. In my whole existence and in my whole experience in this life, one day of feeling kind of funky, no sweat off my back. I'm fine. And that's what I want you to really, really just lean into. You're okay. It's okay to feel that way. We all feel that way on certain days. So I hope this helped. I hope this added some value. I hope this was some support to you. Thank you for listening, and I would love to connect with you and see if you have any thoughts. So always feel free to hit me up on Instagram or LinkedIn or something like that. Thank you. Thank you for listening. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, I would greatly appreciate if you could share this episode with 5 people you think could benefit from the show. Also, please feel free to connect with me on Instagram at Izzy Chinche or my website at izzychinche.com. Thank you so much for being you. Keep being a leader and making this world a better place.